Hello, it's Exact for Life here, and today on Expansion Pack we're going to be talking about blind violence and morality. The games in particular I want to start out with are Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare and Spec Ops The Line. Spec Ops The Line is the featured game in this episode, and I know that you'll probably find that more interesting than Call of Duty since most of us already know what Call of Duty is. But for the sake of comparisons, I'm going to take a look at this Call of Duty 4 clip really quickly.
Nail those guys. Okay, he's moving again. Kaboom. Got ready. Tracking. You gonna get him? You got him. Got ready. Nail those guys. You got him. Okay, he's moving again. Got ready. Nail those guys by the building. Personnel right there. Got ready. More enemy personnel. We got a runner here. God damn. That's it. Copy. Smoke him. Oopsie daisy. Nail those guys by the building. Right there. Tracking. Yeah, good kill. I see lots of little pieces down there.
Now that we've looked at that, we need to look at Spec Ops The Line. Spec Ops The Line deals with some very interesting military themes. It deals with you, Captain Walker, going into Dubai. Dubai has been overrun by a sandstorm and rebels and a lot of troops, and the damned 33rd, the group there, has split up. Colonel Conrad, John Conrad, and they want you to know that it's a reference to Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad, J. Conrad. Colonel Conrad has gone kind of rogue. Well, that's what we think as we get deeper in the story. So Walker starts doing some things that are just kind of brutal, and he has to live with it. The only thing is, Walker starts blaming Conrad for these atrocities. And of course, this is probably the easiest way to get it off your chest and not feel so bad about it. But it's more than that, because Walker drags his men into this. You see, going back to the story, he and his men come into Dubai on a mission to find Colonel Conrad and rescue any survivors, which was what Conrad went to do in the first place. The game has a setup of a hero story, and this will play a very big role in when we talk about, say, blind violence and hero complex, because this game has a lot of that going on. But one atrocity in particular is the focus today, the focus of this episode in particular, the White Phosphorous scene. If you haven't seen this scene, well, it's about to be shown. I warn you, it is pretty graphic. It's a video game though, so it's still cartoony, but at the same time, it wants to depict brutal violence. So without further ado, the next 8 or so minutes will be taken up by this scene. This episode is pretty long, and you've probably already seen that by the timestamps. So please watch this if you really want to know what I'm talking about. If you don't, this episode isn't for you, and I'm sorry. I find it interesting. I hope you will too. Take a look.
Alright, Lugo, who are we up against?
An army? Give or take?
No shit.
How are we getting through this?
This might help. Fine, set it up.
You're fucking kidding, right? That's white phosphorus.
Yeah, I know what it is.
You've seen what this shit does. You know we
Might
can't
not have a
use it.
choice, Lugo.
There's always a choice.
No, there's really not. Okay, prepare to fire. That in order? Yeah, it is.
Fine. Launching camera.
There! On the balcony! We got intruders! Take them
Camera online, sir.
Okay, targeting online. You ready? Whenever you are.
You need to hit those RPGs!
Loading mortar.
RPG's neutralized. Burn 'em.
Prepping mortar. Fire! Stand by.
Take out those fucking snipers!
Stand by.
Snipers are done.
Preparing to fire. No one's moving.
It's over.
He's right, Walker.
Okay. We're done. Let's get down there. Want to reach that gate before reinforcements arrive.
This This was too much.
Stop talking.
What'd you just say?
He means the smoke is toxic.
Let's just keep moving.
Hello? Is anyone there? Please. I'm trapped. I can't feel my leg. We're getting kind of close. Oh, God. Please, help.
Walker, come on, man.
There's nothing we can do. Come on. He's already dead.
Why?
You brought this on yourself.
We were helping.
What? Oh no.
Are those civilians?
Where'd they come from? There's no camp here.
They took him from the nest.
That hotel back at the storm wall? No, those can't be the civvies that got kidnapped. It's not possible.
Yeah, it is. That's why Gould stormed this place. He didn't want the gate.
He was trying to rescue his people. This is your fault, goddammit! Stop right there, Lugo. What it is, he wouldn't let us have a choice. He turned us into fucking cowards. No, Sergeant, no! No!
We need to keep moving.
What?
Reinforcements will be here any second. We need to keep moving.
But Walker, you're not even...
I'm gonna make these bastards pay for what they've done. Now, are you with me or not?
Now that we've seen that, we can discuss this. We can discuss how the scene is set up, how it's supposed to make you feel, the morality, how I felt. Is it justified? What is blind violence? Let's dive right into that. One of the first things I notice about this scene is the fact that your face is shown in the display as you're firing the white phosphorus. This gives the player a sense of, I'm here, I'm the one doing this. And an interview with the developers said that basically they wanted you to feel that. There's an ending to this game, and there's another ending that they talked about. That ending is when you drop the controller, you turn off the TV, you turn off your game console or your PC, and you walk away. And they had many players play through some of the scenes of this game just to walk away, and that was only in testing it. The developers truly knew what they were doing, and this scene in particular, the white phosphorus scene, is good at conveying a sense of, well, is everything so black and white? The blind violence I referred to earlier has to do specifically with this scene, specifically with the themes of this game, the themes of mini military shooters. Going in, following orders, shooting a gun at people who you don't know, who many times are always portrayed as your stereotypical bad guy. And in movies we see this too. The bad guy has stereotypes to them. Most characters do. But the thing is, this is over the top. And in Spec Ops, they give you bad guys that are good guys. They give you American soldiers fighting back. And in this scene, those soldiers were part of the 33rd, the good part. The part that wanted to carry on Conrad's mission of saving the civilians. Because as you come to find out, there was a split. And you don't know this. So you blindly go in and you fire your guns and you have to deal with the consequences yourself. And as you walk through the desolated wasteland that you've created, you pay witness to hell, to the main theme of this game, the horror of war, the wanting to be a hero, to be a good soldier, but in that, you become the bad guy. This scene in particular has you killing all of the good guys. It's powerful. Not many games go into this territory. And when you come to find out, what you get out of this is a sense of, when I go to play another shooter, is it me? Am I just following orders? Is it right? I asked someone recently who was in ROTC about this game. They told me, yeah, it wasn't that bad of a game. They didn't feel bad during the White Phosphorous scene. But that was contrary to what I had heard from many people. I took ROTC for a year. It wasn't for me. But I know many people around me who are in the military, and they've told me that following orders sometimes is just following orders. And I hate to generalize like that. But at some point, you have to be like Adams and Lugo in this scene and question it. But they were wrong too. They followed the orders of Walker. This scene just isn't your typical game scene. And when you finally see that mother and daughter, the mother clutching her daughter close, their burned skin, their eyes missing, her hand covering the daughter's face, you finally realize that you're the villain. You're the bad guy. The whole point of this game was not to make you feel like you were having fun. It was to make you feel like crap. You were supposed to feel bad, uncomfortable. I thought I'd had fun going into this game. I thought I would have a blast shooting things, but I was wrong. As soon as they pitted me against American soldiers, it was different. And that's why this game is so unique and has an awesome narrative that many people will overlook. And that's why I think you should play it, because it really will push your idea of morality, the rights and the wrongs. The way that I look at it is that Walker was right in the fact that he had to fight back in the situation he was given. But again, he blindly went in, just going off of what he knew, what he was trained to do, to kill, to find, to kill, to become the hero. I recently tweeted to the developer, the writer, Walt Williams, and he actually answered my question, surprisingly. I asked him, was it intentional that Walker never contacted command? He said it was fully intentional. And I see why now, because it adds to the fact that Walker wanted to play hero. It adds to the fact that he didn't want to take orders from anybody except himself. So finally, when he realizes this, he starts blaming Conrad. And this is how he gets out of it. But in the long run, he starts to see effects from this. He starts hallucinating. He starts getting more violent. The executions in the beginning of the game go from just simply shooting someone in the head while they're down to full-on unprofessional shooting people, swearing at them, bashing their skulls in, curb stomping them, executing them, blowing their heads off.
Rotting hell.
It progresses in such a way that you start to realize all of this is taking a toll on Walker, and it's taking a toll on the player. And the most important thing about this is that they're tackling a subject that isn't tackled many times, and that's the PTSD of war, of how it affects you as a human being, how it affects you mentally. Now, I know I'm kind of going off in a little bit of a different direction for the story that I believe in, but just as presented in the way it is now, this is simply how I see it. When I do my story analysis video, you will learn how I see the story, and you'll learn why I see it that way. There are some very interesting twists and turns, some very interesting plot elements. One element that I actually rediscovered when going through the White Phosphorous scene that I didn't even notice before, and it's really amazing and blew me out of the way because it confirms what I thought. Really quickly, going back to that Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare footage I showed in the beginning, I wanted you to notice that the way that they portrayed the warfare in Modern Warfare was very unique for the time, because it was the first game in a long time to bring it to the forefront for a lot of people. And the idea of being in an AC-130 gunship and raining hell down upon your enemy, but not knowing your enemy, not seeing them, and then also the commentary about, oh, yep, he's in little pieces, is in stark comparison very comical compared to how Spec Ops portrays the White Phosphorous scene. And if you're wondering what the purpose was, now you know. Because Call of Duty is meant to be a game where you can tune out and have fun to a certain extent. And the developers for Spec Ops didn't want that. So they actually looked at that scene in particular. They looked at a lot of the multiplayer footage where you get to rain hell down from above, and it went into the White Phosphorous scene. So now you know, if you've been wondering this whole time why I showed that. So if you like Expansion Pack, like this video, subscribe, leave a comment. Please give me all the feedback that you can give me. I look for buffets of knowledge, and I don't consider myself to be the smartest person in the world, so I will feel honored to have feedback. Guys, this has been another great episode and fun to do and interesting. And if you have any other questions about Spec Ops The Line, we will talk about it in the comments. So take care, students, viewers, YouTubers, best friends.